So most people don't need advice. They need to feel understood. Um, in this video, the core message is going to be that compassion isn't weakness, it's awareness. It requires emotional intelligence and restraint. When you to be compassionate about something, even towards somebody that you may have some ill feelings towards, that takes strength. I know because I've done that. I've been in those situations and had to do it. So some deep principles, and I'm if you see me looking off, it's because I'm glancing at my notes. Pause your judgment before you just cast judgment on somebody. Um, Oftentimes you don't know what's going on. You don't know the full story behind someone's behavior, behind their emotional state. We don't know everything. Not everybody is and not everybody's like me and just speaks about everything. Some people hold stuff back. And so before you pass judgment, you want to hold off and make sure you know the whole story before you pass judgment. That's just something that I tend to live by. And so kindness without transaction, real compassion expects nothing back. So when you get to a point where you can be kind without expecting to get something in return, that's a big step. I'm gonna come out and say, admittedly, I have a hard time with that because in my everyday life, at a store, holding a door open for a stranger, at a traffic light or a stop sign, letting somebody go before you, or even though you were rightfully there first, just being courteous in general. And when I don't get that courtesy back, sometimes I get a little offended, or I get a little bit like, irritated, like, what? I could do it for you, but you can't do it for me. So those are things that we need to watch out for. All right. Forgiveness frees you. So holding on to resentment keeps you tied to the past. Just hanging on to things that had already happened. Once it's happened, all we got to do is move forward. The only reason you can't move forward is because you're still hanging on to the past. So when something happens, there's nothing you can do about it. It's already happened. Let it go, and let's work on tomorrow. So those are ways of forgiving something and just letting it be what it was, and creating something new going forward. All right. Presence over fixing. Sometimes the best help isn't simply being there. Um, no, I said that wrong. Sometimes the best help is just simply being there, being available. You don't have to physically do something other than physically be there for them and actually be with them in that moment. So that can be a huge help to somebody that just needs someone to be there with them. All right. So real life applications, listening fully instead of interrupting. This is something that I've talked about, at least personally. Lots of people, they tend to listen to respond rather than listening to let someone be heard. And so they're really not soaking in what's being said to them. They're waiting for their moment to say something back. And that's not true listening. That's almost like selfish listening. So you're kind of listening just so you can say something in return. Letting go of grudges that drain energy. That's another thing. I've seen people hold on to things. I used to have this partner when I drove truck and this isn't necessarily a grudge, but it's like he would get so angry about traffic when we were heading back to the yard, when we were done for the day, and it was the end of the day. And now that it's 4 or 5 o'clock, and we're hitting traffic, and we know we're going to be stuck in it for a couple hours. This guy would be so mad, his face would turn red, and he would just be livid, like holding his breath, huffy, puffy, the entire time. So if we were stuck in that traffic for an hour, or, if it took us an hour to 2 hours to get back to the yard, that entire time he spent feeling like this and being this way. And I said to him one time, I says, we're gonna be in this traffic whether you're mad or not. Like, it doesn't matter how upset you get. It doesn't change what we can't change. things that you just have to deal with and have to go through, why not relax a little bit? Yeah, it's okay to be initially upset, but after that, you don't need to spend the next hour and a half giving yourself a headache, working yourself up over how late you're going to be. Just kind of go with the flow. At a certain point, like I said, there's only so much you can do about something, so let it go. And let's see, what else did I have here? Helping someone quietly without recognition. There's another thing. A lot of people tend to want to help or do nice things so that they're seen as this person. They're recognized for what they did and the help that they provided. That's the wrong reason to help anyone. You want to make sure, I'm making sure my thing's on there. You want to make sure that when you help somebody, you're genuinely just helping them out of the kindness of your heart. It's got nothing to do with what you're going to get out of it. It's just you're just helping. You're just doing it to. I have, and I'm not a saint, but there has been times where I have helped someone do something and it had a negative effect on me, but it felt good to help them. Like I wasn't too concerned about the negative effects that it had because I got something out of helping them just by helping them. So that's pretty much it. I'm gonna start wrapping this one up. This is a short one. Wow, it was really quick. Um, so your reflection, the thing you're gonna take your takeaway from this: who in your life needs understanding, not correction. So think about that. Who in your life needs understanding, not correction? That's it. I will see you the next one.